It's hard to think about the election coming up when we're dealing with the destruction left by Helene. People here in western North Carolina have never seen a storm and damage like this. It's going to be years or decades before some people and their locations seem like normal again. But the people here in western North Carolina are a resilient bunch, and they will get themselves out of this hole, no matter how long it takes. And while there's no comparison between this storm and the upcoming election, I just want to remind people about what happened here during the special election held in 2019. Some people thought the county and the town of Tryon specifically would never come together again. But lessons were learned that I think people should take in mind right now with the upcoming election. It was decided in 2019 that the town of Tryon should elect a dog mayor. Not that their human mayor, Mayor Alan Peoples, wasn't doing a great job. He was, and he still is. But they just thought he could use some assistance. And so they came up with an election, a special election in 2019. You think, how could that cause such an uproar? But wrong it went. People were complaining of irregularities before the election was even over. People were claiming ballot boxes were being stuffed, and not with ballots, but with money to buy the election. And you know, they were right. You see, people nominated dogs to run for dog mayor, the very first dog mayor of Tryon. In order to win, you put money into their campaign jar, and their campaign managers put in hard work to see that people elected their candidate as the dog mayor. It was a tough competition, and there were a lot of wonderful dogs entered. But then the counting of the ballots happened. And in front of everybody's eyes, victory for the first dog mayor was snatched away from all those would-be mayor dogs. Instead, out of nowhere came this candidate named Rusty Bunshine. No one had heard of Rusty Bunshine until day of election. And Rusty won. Rusty had some big money behind him, and he became the first dog mayor of Tryon. The problem was, Rusty Bunshine was a cat. You would have thought the world had lost its collective mind, or at least the town of Tryon. At first there was an uproar. People were screaming that there were some problems with the election and the counting of the ballots. But you know what? When it all came down to it, Tryon claims to be the friendliest town in the South. And I think after this election, that proved to be true. All the money raised was going to the Foothills Humane Society and their shelter, a great cause. And people got to thinking, you know what? Even though there was no rule stated that cats couldn't enter, and maybe a cat snuck in, is that such a bad thing? So they gathered around, and feline people and canine people came together and shook hands, and they hugged. And they said, you know what? Maybe my candidate didn't win, but it's not about that. It's about this town, and it's about good things we can do as a town. It's not felines versus canines. It's the community. It's the town of Tryon. And they put their differences behind them, and they rallied behind the first dog mayor of Tryon, even if that dog mayor was a cat. There's a lesson to be learned here. You take what you get sometimes, and you make the most of it. If your candidate doesn't win, you sit back and think, okay, it's still our country, our town. We're one people. We need to be in this together to make the place a better place for all of us. The election's coming up. Your candidate might win, your candidate might lose, but in the end, we're still here. And we need to learn to live together in peace and harmony. You know what? They've had other elections for dog mayors since then. They've been peaceful. I think a dog's won each time, but a couple of cats have entered. Not without some controversy here and there. There was actually a letter to the editor of the Tryon Daily Bulletin not too long ago, saying that seemed like something was not right, but that got passed over. The election of 2024 is ahead of us. Get out there and vote, and then respect the winner. And let's go forward from there. If you want to see my original video of that election that was kind of a fiasco back then, but is looked on today with great honor, check out the link above. In the meantime, let's be in this together. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark, and this is A Country Life with Columbus Mark, where I try to bring you a lighthearted look at life in the country.
Andy Dandy! Number 4, Charlie!